Hello everyone, welcome to another gschultz9 live stream. Starting off a little bit, there's a few things that are a little bit different tonight. First off, I realized that leaving an MRE up on the screen as I chat for a few minutes to let people get in here isn't the best idea because it's just like a static little shot. And I've gotten, oh boy, these guys are going crazy now. I've gotten a little bit, a couple of people commenting thinking that the screen was frozen because they could hear me, but they couldn't, it didn't seem like anything was going on. And it's because there wasn't anything going on. You should don't eat your food.
I know.
So, I say welcome. We're getting started. The big thing to mention is that there's no Mrs. G tonight. Mrs. G gschultz9 is actually away with the eldest daughter. They're kind of helping out with the in-laws, her parents. They're running, having a big auction for their local TV station. And I have the younger one here. She's gonna have a little dinner, and we figured we'd start off with the guinea pigs we've mentioned before. And what I was gonna say was that this is the first, this is the 10th live stream. I do want to make sure people, if anybody can check in, that they can see and hear what's going on. But big challenge I'm going to have is keeping up with the chat because I usually have Mrs. G to help with that until she has a couple of wines in her. But I'm going to be trying to run this and do the chat. As I said, this is the 11th live stream. Before we started doing these, it was always just me doing my videos. And so the live streams have been a big change because Mrs. G has been part of every single one. And the kids have been involved here and there every once in a while. And what was I going to say? I just get distracted by the little one. So I've actually, it's been a family affair all this time, and all of a sudden I have to go back to being the only person talking, and it's live. So it's actually, this is brand new for me, really, in a way, even though we've been doing it for a while. So with Mrs. G not being here, one of the, let me show them their butts, aren't they? One of the interesting things about this stream was it was also going to be the first kale-free stream because for some reason that topic always comes up. It already came up in the pre-show, in the chat. I'd like to welcome some people in a second. But kale has already come up, so I guess it won't be kale-free zone. But of course, these guinea pigs, one of their favorite things to eat, like Mrs. G, is kale. So just as an announcement, this is Samoa, and this is Coco. And we are not going to be eating these guys tonight. That's not what this video is about. But I figured I should just mention that just in case anyone's worried. What?
Scroll down.
To what?
There's people talking.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. And it looks like we are at 10-2 on the stream. That's great. Edward Valdez asked the name, and I didn't see that question, but I already did say it. Yeah, it was Samoa and Coco. Coco was originally Oreo when we adopted them, but we have neighbors a couple floors down from us who had a guinea pig at the time, and her name was Oreo. So the little one announced that.
Dead.
Yeah, she did die.
Kind of sad.
Which was a very sad thing. But so the little one announced that we could not let this one remain Oreo, so now it's Coco. But it's not cocoa as in hot cocoa. It's cocoa as coconut. So it's COCO. I'm grabbing some kale.
Sure.
So we'll let them have a little snack, and then we'll get to the stream. Looks like we have. Oh boy, this my computer really kind of sucks. These guys are probably pretty excited about to get a snack. Oh yeah. I'm not sure how many people are here because my computer still says there's 4 people waiting, which is what it was saying before this all started. You give me a little piece so we can stand up. Thank you, though. Little. What was I going to say? Yeah, so Mrs. G's not the only one in the house that loves kale. Yeah, so I don't know how many people are going to be here for this. I made the thumbnail for it, and I realized this is a pretty kind of a boring topic for a for a live stream. A couple of commercial MREs. It seems like people would be more interested in a genuine U.S. MRE, or better yet, a very vintage U.S. ration, or something international, something from another country that you don't really see all the time. But I still thought it could be an interesting topic. It's sort of like for the real hardcore fans of rations, taking a deep dive into the Xmre company. And I'm going to try not to spend too much time. I'm hoping this will actually be sort of short too, because we usually run these about 2 hours. And considering we don't have Mrs. G here and I don't have as much stuff lined up, I'm trying to kind of keep it stripped down to the minimum. We have a special guest here, but other than that, I think we're just going to kind of talk about the rations a little bit, try and do a review, and then let everybody go and enjoy their Friday night. And let me just go back a little bit, and I just want to get caught up on some of this. Oh man, I'm missing a lot. Yeah, so welcome. I know old Smokey was here before it started. I think he's on the road right now, or he's going to try and check in, I believe. But I do want to thank Smokey for helping to promote this one. And as always, I want to thank Smokey for inspiring me to do live streams. He'd always suggested that I should do some. And I was like, no, I just do the regular videos. But then when it came time, when everything shut down, and I just wasn't able to do regular videos, it was a good idea to try something different. And it's been fun. I know a lot of people are waiting for the regular videos to start back up, and I do apologize. I have to say this every single time. I apologize. I know they haven't gotten around to it, and that is what people have subscribed for and what they expect, and I understand that. But in lieu of not having any content, I figured this is at least something. And it's been fun. We get this great community here. It's been great having all those people checking in with all those people. So yeah, as I said, Smokey helped out. The Magnus was here at the beginning. I think he's still around, and he probably won't be able to stick around for too long because it's really late in Sweden. Is it 2 a.m.? I believe it's 2 a.m. over there. But I'm really glad he did show up. What's wrong? What's wrong, little ones? Magnus is here. Mrs. G is actually in the chat. I don't know how long she'll be around, but it's cool that she is still making an appearance, even though she's not here in person. So thank you, Mrs. G, for joining us. Josh Tard was here. He was here. I don't know if he's still around. Aletha, John Patrina, Golden Inga is also my sister. I'm glad you're here. See Diane, Dylan Law, Chris Reedy, Edward Valdez, Bourbon Street Joe, Nola, James Murray. Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn. I didn't realize you're here. Great, you're here monitoring things for me. Thank you. What do you call that? Not monitoring. What's that word? I hate it when moderating, not monitoring, moderating. Thank you, Marilyn, for being here. Marilyn is awesome. Let's see, anybody else that I forgot? Oh, Curious Pete. Hello, welcome, Pete. I didn't see that you were there. Sherlock, welcome. Booger Butt. I was hoping I would be able to say hi to Booger Butt. All right, we have a good crowd here. I wish I knew how many people were here. Does anybody? Can anybody tell me how many people are showing up as far as below the video where it says so many people watching? Because I still have 4 waiting, and there's obviously a lot more than 4 people here, which is awesome. 11 Interstellar Fighter. Hello. And let me get back closer to being up to date, so I can start talking about other things. I'm hoping this is a more entertaining backdrop, having these guys fighting over kale. GW Speaker MRE, welcome. And I think we're caught up with them. Oh boy, this is a tough one. Blom Pojk. Kale rodents. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. There's always a couple in here that I just can't really pronounce. But 22, 23, 24. That's great. That's actually, I think that's better than I was expecting. So we're definitely starting. I'll let the little one have some of her pizza, and then she can bring the pigs back to their place. Hi, little guy. So cute. Yeah, we'll get to the meat of the stream. So how's everybody doing? I had a lot of things to talk about, and I don't know. I did want to make one quick complaint about Facebook. I apologize if anybody has sent me messages there, and it really only applies to a couple of people, and I don't think they're even here. But I have no problem with people sending me messages there. But for some reason, Facebook has switched me. The gschultz9 channel has switched me to a business account, which I didn't ask to do, and they didn't ask if I wanted to. I'm just on it. I don't recognize anything on it, And because I have this old computer, it's geared towards new computers apparently because I can't even see the messages. It's just kind of shows that there's a bunch of messages, but all the names are overlapping and all the words are all squished together in like 2 lines for like 10 different messages, or it's probably like all the messages. So I literally can't read them unless I do it at work or on my phone. So I do apologize if anybody has any issues with that. I'm probably the only one who does, but I guess I just put that out there. One other thing I wanted to do before we get to the XMREs is mention that I am hoping to do another stream this month. And it'll be the gschultz9 holiday special, which we did one last year. And for anybody that remembers last year, I was waiting for the package from the Magnus to show up. The Magnus has, for the past quite a few years, sent me a care package each holiday season. And I thought he didn't last year. No, I guess he told me he did, but it took forever to show up. And I was planning on doing a holiday special. I've done regular videos that were holiday specials before, and I was going to do a live one last year, but the package just never showed up. I just kept waiting for it. It kept not being there. And finally, on December 31st, it was the last day of the year, and I figured that was the last chance to do a holiday special. We'd already missed Christmas, but we went ahead and did it then, and then a couple weeks later, the package finally showed up. So I'm hoping to do one later in the month. Another. Why are you staring at me, Coco? Another holiday special, gschultz9 holiday special, and it hopefully will have the Magnus package because he did let me know he did send one. I thought maybe he was going to take this year off, which would have been fine. I would have certainly understood, especially after the trials of last year. Trying to I agree. All right, the little guy's going to leave. Our special guest is going to. Oh, he's going to grab him. Be careful. I was going to say, the trials and tribulations of waiting for that thing to show up. It was just kind of not fun. But he did say he sent one, so we'll have that for the next holiday special. If this happens, I'm not making any promises, and I apologize. I know it's been 3 months since the last stream. I think even over 3 months. Time just keeps going by so quick. It's been another weird year. So hopefully we'll have that, and it'll be, in honor of the holidays, we'll be opening up stuff, like surprise things, because the Magnus package is literally a holiday package. One other thing, though, we have is Xmre Nation had another one of their gigantic sales, which they're wont to do, and I ordered one of their medium mystery boxes. So the cool thing about this is I have no idea what's in here. I think the medium mystery box says at least 2 full rations, which could either be an Xmre Nation ration or in a genuine MRE, maybe even something else. And then whatever else room there is in there, they stuff it with other stuff. So that I'm looking forward to. I've been looking forward to that for a couple weeks, but I haven't opened it because I want to do it as part of a show. So that would be the gschultz9 holiday special, hopefully coming to a YouTube near you soon. Magnus, what G ain't saying is that I was late this year. Oh, that's right. The package is on its way, but he did send it on the late side, so I guess we still have some drama. But I don't know. If I'm guessing he probably was extra careful in the packaging this year, and I'm knocking on wood because I'm going to say I'm not anticipating. I shouldn't say that. I'm not anticipating big issues with it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. See, Karsten's here. I don't think I said hi to Karsten. And I'm not keeping up with the chat. I don't want to have the what they call it in radio, the dead air. I didn't know that's going to happen. Mr. gschultz9, the Magnus pack is as much tradition as IDK eggnog. Yeah, I would say it really has become a tradition for me. It's just really cool. It's another cool example of how great this community is. That there's somebody over in Sweden who, is just sent me this great stuff. He sent me some rations that I reviewed, some Swedish 24-hour rations, and then just all this other stuff that's just he usually calls it like a heritage pack. I call it a care package and a holiday package, but it's a heritage pack, and the meaning behind that is because I and my family, we're actually Swedish. So I've never been to Sweden, and I can't speak Swedish, but I really, enjoy Swedish stuff. So, actually, Golden Inga is my sister, so it's something that I think she would appreciate too if we get a chance to do this to do that live. I guess that's about enough talk about that. We'll get to these XMREs. So XMRE is a commercial MRE company, and they, I don't know when they first started. If it was like the end of 2013. I first heard of them, I think it was early in 2014, and up until that point, I knew there was Meal Kit Supply was an independent commercial MRE producer, and the only other ones I knew of were the three companies that do the genuine MREs had their own commercial versions. The Sopaco, SurePack, the I'm blanking on these things. Anyway, the three companies all had their own ones, but I kind of consider them halfway between commercial and genuine because they're made by the same people that make the genuine ones. And so XMRE suddenly showed up. Never heard of it. I started to advertise, I don't know if it was on Facebook or something. I went over to mreinfo.com, which I should make a plug for. There's a lot of things I should be making plugs for, and I'm just kind of blanking. But I went over to xmreinfo.com to the forums, and I posted there, because that's where everybody who's knowledgeable about rations goes, and I asked if anybody had heard of this company. And I don't think anybody had at that point. So it was actually something brand new, and just kind of popped up out of nowhere. So I wrote to the company and I just kind of mentioned that that I review stuff, and they ended up sending me some like a case of their early MREs to do some reviews on, and it was pretty cool. It was a new company, and just like the other commercial MREs out there, most of the components in them are genuine U.S. MRE components, with a few little twists here and there. But I did find, although I gave them a good review, there was some issues early on. So it's interesting to see how much they've changed between then and now. The first bags look like this, and these I think these are both from 2014. So they changed pretty quickly. They changed from this kind of. I'm having light issues tonight. The main light that I usually have on here, which isn't all that great, is not available. So I don't know how much you can see. But this one's kind of like a dull one, and this one's a little more shiny. Otherwise, looks pretty similar, except you might notice something missing on this one. It doesn't have a menu number. So the very first ones they had, I think they were trying to save money, and they just made one bag, put all the MREs in it, and then on the back, like some companies will print the date code, they actually printed the menu number. So I don't really have a problem with that. It doesn't say what the menu is. Well, that's why I had the problem. So what they did was, when you would buy a case, I wish I had this with me as an example, it would actually come with a sheet of paper that said exactly what each menu was and what was in each one. It was kind of neat information, but if you lost that sheet, you didn't know what was in your bag. Or if you just bought, like if you say you bought some of these on eBay or something, it would just be like, oh great, I have menu number 5. I wonder what's in it. They do have date codes on them, which is good. They look a little different than the genuine US MREs do. But this one is 4048, so it was very early in 2014. And this one is 4091, so it's only like a month and a half later. So this was the end of the first run and the beginning of the second run. This one, it does have the menu number, but as you can see, it doesn't say what the entree is. So once again, you would get the list in there. This one is from 2018, and you can see they went through a major overhaul. Actually, one of the things in the first one was the X for XMRE stood for Extreme Meals Ready to Eat, and that was like what they were trying to push. They were saying it had like the most calories of any commercial MRE, and trying to like put it out there for like adventure stuff, and just they've backed off that, and now I think it's officially stands for I think it's extra long life or something like that. It's not extreme anymore, but anyway, within probably a year or two after this one, they came out with these bags that look a lot more like a genuine MRE. And by this point, they actually have they still have the menu number on it, and now it's a sticker. I can't remember if that's changed since then. This is 2018. And this one actually tells you it's ratatouille. Ooh, I didn't realize that's what that was. and it gives you all the components, which is a nice touch. It also includes a heating sleeve, beverage bag, accessory kit, and heater. So they definitely got better as they went along. One of the complaints I had about the early ones was that every single one had crackers and peanut butter. There was no cheese spread or jams. or anything like that. I think it was just plain cheese bread. So it was a little bit monotonous. I think there was 6 menus, so you would get, if you in a case of 12, you get 2 of each, and the sides and the desserts and everything just weren't all that inspired, weren't all that exciting. And it was a new company, and they just kept making improvements. One of the improvements they made probably soon after this was they actually started adding their own branded components, which I thought was awesome. They had like basically corn nuts. It was the toasted corn kernels, and I think they had them before they had them in the genuine USMREs. They had these little mini chocolate chip cookies and a few other things, and I thought that was a cool touch. But I found out that their retort pouches, I guess, weren't the same. They weren't up to US MRE standards because they wouldn't last that long. I had one that was about a year old, and the corn nuts had gone rancid, and the little chocolate chip cookies were stale. They didn't taste very good at all. So, I mean, there's speed bumps and things along the way. And I think they just keep getting better, and I'm not sure if this one is a full one because I'm just going to take a quick look at what's in this one. Oh yeah, this is the, actually, this is a good chance to check out. Oh, this is perfect. This was not a setup, but here's the Xmre roasted salted corn nuggets. And this one, I don't know if this has a date code on it. I think it does, but it cannot. No, maybe it's not, maybe it's just sealed. But the MRE itself is from, and they started stamping these the same as the genuine ones are, 8. Oh no, this is from 2015. Okay, 5363. So it was the last couple days of 2015. So this is basically a 2016 one. But we're definitely going to check this out because I just mentioned that they put in their own components. The original ones, they didn't even have a tear notch. This one looks like it does. So you actually had to like cut them with a knife or scissors or something. But they fixed that. But as I said, this looks like pretty much like a standard retort pouch, but I have a feeling these are not going to be edible. I am really glad that they're in here though, so we can check them out. One other huge improvement they made is, as of right now, of all the USMREs, including genuine USMREs, I think that Xmre has the best flameless ration heaters. At this point, they were still using the same ones that you would find in the genuine USM ones, and it's even is a genuine one, not a commercial one. If it was commercial, it'd be the same thing. I mean, they're basically the same quality, which is fine. It's not meant to cook anything; it's just meant to heat things up. But they ended up going with a next generation heater that could boil water, and it was really kind of cool. I've done some videos on them. Unfortunately, I don't have one with me right here. It's another thing. Would have been nice if I planned this out a little bit better and had one, but we've looked at them in the past too on a couple of live streams, or at least one. This is close to being a full meal. I think it's missing the cheese and crackers. What was this one supposed to have? This one had vegetable crackers, chunky peanut butter, tropical punch beverage powder. That's missing too. A fudge brownie. Yeah, I ate all the fun stuff out of this one. So we don't really necessarily need all this, but I figured what we'll do for a review tonight is by Maryland Night Pete. I think Magnus is checking out. I just want to check up a little real quick. Oh, I should also mention too, Smitty was here in the pre-show. I believe he hasn't been here since we started, but he showed up before the thing and before the stream started in the chat, and he actually sent a super chat. So I do want to say a huge thank you to Smitty, who's probably not even here, and I'm sure most people did not even see that because we had a little pre-show going on in the chat, and Mrs. G was here, the Magnus was here, Smokey was here at first, but I think he had to leave. Lazy TV, welcome. Mike Ziegler, welcome. I was chatting with him. He was one of the people who would send a message that I couldn't see, and I was eventually able to get back to him. Wyoming Adventures, welcome. Joshua Hicks, welcome. Okay, yeah, people are saying goodnight to Magnus. Unfortunately, I missed that. Magnus is probably already gone. I didn't say goodnight to him. But if you see this later, Magnus, thank you for joining us for a little while. I'm glad you were able to make it. I know you weren't sure if you'd be able to or not. Xeno Saga, welcome. So I'll say goodbye and goodnight to the Magnus. And it looks like Pete also was leaving. Sorry, I hate it when I'm lost in this thing. I'm not sure what's going on, but Yeah, looks like we've already lost a few people, and we've gained some others. If anybody could give me one more quick update on the numbers, because it's kind of annoying how this isn't working with this stupid computer. But I know we were up to 24 earlier, and oh, wait, I'm just jumping around a lot, aren't I? On the holiday special, I'm also planning on having us try these. Somebody gave this to us for Mrs. G and myself's birthdays, which are a day apart in September, and been wanting to try them ever since. And I keep saying, let's save them for a stream because it'll be fun to check them out on that. It's Lay's. You can tell me what this language is. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. I'm supposed to say they do have a sticker here that says has everything in product of China. That does not look. No, I guess it does look Chinese. So there's some stuff in English, so it's not all a surprise. But I actually thought these were hazelnuts, but they are chestnuts. So it's chestnut flavored. It says Lay's, but it looks like they're Pringles. It's slightly small. It's gonna be interesting to check them out. But I didn't want to do it by myself, even though there was a little one here. I wanted to have it. Definitely wanted to have Mrs. G try these on screen. One thing that's curious about these, though, it does have some numbers on the bottom, and it has a date. It looks like it has 20/21/01/25, which would be January 25th, 2021. I'm hoping that's not the expiration date. I'm kind of hoping that was the born on date, but it doesn't seem like these kind of things usually have a born on date. They usually have an expiration date. So they might be a little bit, it's still sealed and everything, but they may not be perfect. It does say shelf life on here, 12 months. So I guess it's actually still within date then. So we will check this out during the holiday special. And I figured what we'll do is we'll check out one of these. We might as well go for the first generation one. Even though it's just a commercial MRE, and that's sort of kind of a boring utilitarian thing, not something really that people would collect. I did notice on the Ration Museums, one of their live streams, Sean was cataloging some of his stuff, and he actually had a couple commercial MREs, which kind of makes sense. If you're going to be, having a museum of everything ration, these are part of the world. They're part of the ration world. And I don't know if he has any Xmre, and I was thinking I should actually offer him one or two of these because it's the very first ones, and they're obviously not made anymore. I don't know if they're hard to find. I mean, it's not like something that people will be collecting and putting aside for trading and whatnot. So I'm a little hesitant to open it, not because it's anything great, but just because it could be one of the few things I actually have that I could offer to the Ration Museum. But I think I still have a couple of them lying around somewhere, I hope. So why don't we do that? Why don't we keep these out here, and we'll get rid of the later versions and check out a 2014 Xmre. I wish my lighting was a little better. So, see if there's anything I did bring this thing out. I wonder if this will help. Sorry if I'm just kind of moaning and groaning here, but that doesn't really help. Oh well. So yeah, as I said, I don't have the information sheet. If I do end up sending some of these to the Ration Museum, I'll probably see if I can find that and include it. Menu number 5 from 2014 of Xmre. And Xmre, they also do the Oatmeals line of foods. And they had these adventure snacks that were like freeze-dried cheese. And they branched out and done quite a few things. And it's been kind of neat watching them grow from the very beginning, Let's see what this first one had in it. Menu number, oh God. Menu number 5 was vegetable lasagna. That's not really horrible, but that's something with meat in it. And you can see they had the standard famous Ration Heater at the time, which is nice because I know Meal Kit Supply, when they first came out, they had their own branded ones, which is a cool touch, and it was a little different because you would actually wrap your pouch. You would wrap the FRH around it, so you didn't have to have it inside of it getting into all that gross water and everything, but they didn't really work that well, and they ended up switching over to this type. But we have the famous Ration Heater. We have a chocolate dairy shake powder, and this would be after the recall, so that's cool. And there's the accessory pack that has sugar, coffee, genuine MRE spoon, nice touch. A little napkin in there, and a few other things. I don't think I'm even going to open that. We'll skip the coffee tonight since Mrs. G isn't here. You know what? What am I saying? Can't do a complete review without checking out the coffee. Especially because, sorry for all the crinkling, it looks like it may be a, what do we have here? Deep and rich. Yeah, that was one of their standard ones. Let's see how this sounds. It does not seem to be all dried up, so that's a good sign. So look at all this stuff here. The spoon, the sugar. One of the things I always find interesting about MREs is that the genuine ones have salt, but they don't have pepper. And almost every commercial MRE I've ever gotten has salt and pepper, which to me it seems like a given that it should have that. And we have the coffee mate for the coffee, fresh nap, moist towelette, and the little napkin. All right, what else do we have here? We also have the standard wheat snack bread. It's kind of beat up here a little bit. I guess it gets smushed in with all these things at some point. We have wheat snack bread. One potential issue with independent company MREs, basically Meal Kit Supply and Xmre, is that some of the components, because these are the genuine MRE components that come from the companies that make the genuine MREs, they also have to keep some for their own MREs, and I think the independent companies tend to get stuff that's a little bit on the older side. So this one was from I said this was early 2014, and that's actually not too bad. This is from like the middle of 2013, so that's not bad at all. This is a little bit earlier, the 85th day of 2013. It's still not bad. I mean, you're not going to find something that's from the same day an MRE is packaged, even in a genuine US MRE. We have the oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie. That's one that I don't want to say a fan of, but I enjoy. Tropical Punch beverage-based powder. It's one that a lot of people aren't crazy about. I don't really mind it. The color, yeah, it's overdone and it can stain. I wouldn't want to put it in a canteen. I'd be afraid of the canteen getting all coated with it. And that's it. Does it seem like there's something missing in here? It doesn't have doesn't really have a side dish. Oh, wait a minute. Now that's interesting. I'm pretty sure all of these came with a spread. As I'd mentioned, at this time it was all peanut butter. This one doesn't even have a spread. It just has the wheat snack bread with nothing to put on it. That's kind of unfortunate. But 2 beverages with the beverage-based powder and the coffee. So, why don't we... Do I really want to review a vegetable lasagna? Why not? 3217. It's not too bad for an early 2014 MRE. It's really not bad at all. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. So, I don't have boiling water ready, so we'll go ahead and do this in the flameless ration heater for a few minutes. Probably not too long, because I don't want to keep everybody all night. Dread Plays 2400. You know what? I do remember having this problem with the Xmre ones. They had these FRHs that didn't have tear notches. It says tear here to use bag, but there's no tear notch. I remember that was a problem for a little while. It looked like there was one here, but it's not working. So we'll just give that a quick snip. Dread Plays 2400, welcome. Wyoming Adventures, I don't think I said hi to you, welcome. Yeah, I'm sorry if you guys have been around for a long time. Curious Pete is still here. That's cool. Xenosaga is, oh, he'll be right back, I thought he was going to leave. I get to walk the rest of the way home. Jim Clark X, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but welcome. See, I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else new here that I didn't say hi to. Emily is here. I don't think I said hi, hello to you. Hello. And I'm not sure if Mrs. G is still here. She may be monitoring the, it said hi to Kalen's train, right? And she said it was up to 28. Oh, Smitty's back. Hello, Smitty. Sorry I didn't see that you were here. Some say he's always creeping. Not sure who that was. Yeah, welcome back, and thank you again for the super chat. That was greatly appreciated, and it was even before the before the stream started. and before the chat was really supposed to even be starting. So that was much appreciated. Rolo, hello. I actually get to say hi to somebody who really just popped in, apparently. All right, so this FRH is from 2012, so that wouldn't have been too old back then, 2014 either. It doesn't have a lot of filings falling out of it, so that seems to be in pretty good shape. Wow, it's weird. I actually haven't done one of these in a while. I think the last time I used the FRH was the last live stream. No, we didn't use one then. It was probably the one before that when we were doing one of the vintage MREs. So that's weird. After doing so many for all the regular review videos, I've kind of gotten out of the habit. It can be good to take a break from things once in a while. That's for like Bob Ross saying that for some reason. All right, let's see how this one does. I don't have the rock or something either. I'm really not prepared today. I can hear it starting. This is where you get the dead space because in a regular video I can edit this part out. It's like you occupied? Are you doing okay? You're occupied? There's more pizza in there. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. We can always have it cold too, but let me just pop outside for 1 second. If everybody can amuse themselves in the chat, I'm just gonna see if I can find the rock or something.
Yep.
Luckily it wasn't too hard to find the trusty old rock. This was, I know a lot of people have gotten their rocks, have specific rocks for their reviews, and that's like really cool. I found this one when we were camping in 2013 to 2014. That's the chemicals, well, not chemicals exactly, but it's the reaction in here. Yeah, it's not a great smell, is it? I don't think the little ones actually smelled that before. But yeah, I found it while we were camping, and I used it in a video while we were camping, and then I brought it home, and it's been my rock or something ever since, for anybody that cares about that little history. But it is cooking off now. It's working pretty good. So we'll get everything else plated, and then we'll see if that's warm. You want to try any of this? Chat. Curious Pete's rocks are in his head. Yeah, mine probably are too. I'll splice you on. Missing something here. Yeah, actually, John, my rock was outside, but it had to come in for the review. I do actually usually leave it sitting outside on our balcony. Toilet paper. Wait, still Steve, 1989 will join chat. That would be cool if Steve would join. I haven't been in touch with Steve in a long time. Oh, very unrelated, but anybody else love the new Halo? I don't do video games at all, so I can't speak on that, but yeah, that sounds like a good conversation starter right there. Where are we at? I'm gonna need a glass with some water. And I'm also gonna need, I would have you talk, creature, but I know you don't want to. 6 ounces of water for this. I'll be right back again. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, if I talk, I don't know what to say.
I know. Yeah, I'm not going to force you to talk or anything. All right, I wasn't quite prepared. And I do have a third beverage too, actually. I probably should mention that. Which we're already 40 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to that yet. But I think we're actually doing pretty good. Hope everybody's not having too bad of a time. I mean, I know it's a little quieter here without the this is gschultz9 interplay. But let's see, we do a 24-hour outdoor ration review of proper outdoors. Dread Plays, I've done a number of outdoor reviews. It's kind of funny because it's something that seems like a natural thing for doing ration reviews, but for the most part, the model is, you know, like the Steve thing is having a tray and doing it, having it all set up and everything. And outdoor reviews in general are kind of rare things. I know there's a couple people here, probably not here tonight, a couple people here that do them outdoors. And I've done a handful of them, but no, I have not done a 24-hour one. That would probably be a really long video the way I film, but that is a good idea. I mean, all the ones I've done have been single meals. It'd be kind of cool to try doing a 24-hour one and having it be outdoors and showing different backgrounds and whatnots. Cheers. Tactical food pack ration. I've not had that. Let's see what was John talking about here. I'm sorry, I'm missing so much of this chat. I hope everybody's having fun in there. I guess I just gotta keep on keeping on. Try the chocolate dairy shake powder. Oh, which actually I forget that's not really well, it is a beverage, but it's more of a desserty kind of beverage. But it did say 6 ounces of water. This feels like it's more than that, but it was 6 ounces. What is it? What did I miss? My mini moderators. Thanks, Rollo. Appreciate it. All right, well, we got the chocolate dairy shake powder here, which I wish I can put back into that glass that I had the water in. You do want to give these things a really good shake because the corners are not going to get. There we go. I think that's good. And I think you got to shake this for like a minute. So yeah, 60 seconds. I'm losing track of what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, outdoor reviews. I would like to do some more of them, but I just need to get back to doing reviews in general of any sort. I should have used this.
Sure.
Okay.
How do you?
You just hold this so it doesn't.
Oh, do I open it?
It's you can actually hold it like this. It's contoured. What I'm doing is I'm just holding that just to make sure the top doesn't come off and just give it a really good shake. There you go. All right, and there. Nice, yeah. About 30 seconds. Putting her to work. Okay, and then we have the tropical punch beverage base powder. This is really weird that it didn't have a spread. I mean, I could go find one, but so at this point, you can see all these components were genuine MRE ones. It was before they started their own branding. Yeah, let's have some magic color here, which if the lighting was better, it would be more impressive. Actually, I would like the little one try this, because this is something that, you know, it's kind of like a kid's drink, and I'm kind of a big kid, so that's probably why I don't hate them as much as a lot of other people do. But it's just the regular beverage base, not the carbohydrate electrolyte one. While you're shaking that, I'll stir this. Pretty, huh?
Is it raspberry?
It is fruit punch, tropical fruit punch.
Oh.
I'm definitely gonna have you try this. That should be good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do I open it?
If you want to take a peek in there. Yeah, that is that Kool-Aid smell. I'm not going with the mixing it with the adult beverages because I do want the little one to try that. She's made a face smelling the dairy shake powder.
What is this?
Chocolate. It's like supposed to be like a chocolate shake.
Oh. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It does have a little. It's probably the packaging. It almost smells like peanut butter, doesn't it? Do you get that at all?
It smells like dark
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah, it's just chocolate. I don't know what I'm thinking, but I don't know. Just to be on the safe side, let me give it one more quick. And we will put that in the glass. I love these contour pouches because you can just drink up right out of them. They have the Ziploc, so you can tear it open, put the water in, and then seal it back up. And then it's really easy to drink right out of it. It doesn't have a gusseted bottom or anything, but it doesn't really need to stand up. This seems like more than 6 ounces, doesn't it? I know I measured it, but... Do you remember the Dairy Shake video? Where it went all over the counter when we were living in Auburn? You shake, make, miss. Just thinking back years ago when the girls were little, and we were making a little funny video, but... Alrighty. I'm gonna have you try that too. And I did say we'd do the coffee, so...
I'll try that.
You want to try it now? Because I'm not going to make you stay around for the whole thing, so I would like to hear what you think of that and the Dairy Shake powder.
It's fruit punch.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what there's to say about it. It's like kind of like Kool-Aid, sort of, something like that. Okay, now we get the deep rich, which, as everyone likes to say, is neither deep nor rich, but it's coffee. What is that? I guess it's got a bit of a chemical kind of smell to it. It's weird that it's kind of a little stinky in a way, and it was kind of like it's kind of it's a little bit like peanut butter in the packaging, but it's just that chemicalness of it.
Do you think it'll work if we relearn it? Because then it would show.
It might, but I'm afraid to. Oh, Marilyn just said, I don't know if she's reading my mind, but Little One was just talking about how the fact that it still says 4 people are waiting for the stream to start, and Marilyn said 37. Thank you very much, Marilyn. That's something that people shouldn't have to be reporting in on, but because of my old-ass computer, it just does not work that good, but coffee looks fine. And go ahead and add the creamer. That looks fine. And sugar, just for the heck of it. Since it's there. It smells like absolutely nothing. It's a good sign. Ready to some rations, welcome. I think that was good timing. Thanks for the Little One, my mini moderator, for pointing that out. 4man777, I don't think I said hi to you. Welcome. You may have been around for a while, but I just saw that, so better late than never. I'm sorry, Mrs. G is missing out on this meal, especially since it's the vegetable. Yeah, the vegetable lasagna is actually not a bad one. It's actually, I wouldn't rank it as one of my favorites, but it's definitely one that I don't mind eating. You know, probably my favorite vegetarian one is the cheese tortilla. The cheese. Yeah. Somebody help me out here. The cheese, the little pasta things. I am so blanking.
Does it start with an F?
Cheese. I think it starts with a T, doesn't it? Those little rolled up pasta things. Somebody's gonna know. Somebody's gonna know what I'm talking about.
You mean 2 things on top of cheese?
Thundercat, hello.
Right?
How's the Godfather of Rations doing this fine evening? I am doing fine. Tortellini. Thank you, Kaylin. You win the prize. I don't know why I was totally blanking on that. Sometimes it just happens. It's live TV for you. Thank you, Kaylin. And anybody else who said tortellini. Or tortamellini, as John said. Oh, is Kaylin doing a comparison. I missed what that was all about. I'm probably gonna have to go back at this and I on my other ones I didn't realize there's a setting for the live chat and the replay of the live chat. So if anybody for some reason wants to go back and look at any of the older ones, apparently they won't have the chat attached, unless they did by default at that time. But I did enable it for this one, so I can go back and I can catch up on the chat afterwards. All right, cookie. You want to try that, right? Cookie.
Yeah.
If
It
it's
sounds like
if
a
it's good,
Lasagna.
which it should be. Cookie. Oh wow, it's a little smashed up here. It smells okay though. It's got kind of a
What
packagey
is
kind of
it?
taste. Oh, it's oatmeal chocolate chip, chocolate chunk, not chip.
What does it look like? There's what's it called in it?
What's it called?
Um,
It's not real oatmeal-y. It's
no, I know.
yeah.
Like,
I think you'll like it.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Probably
a bit crumbly, as you can see. And then we have our dry wheat snack bread with nothing to put on it. That must have been an error. I mean, for a company, putting out their first MREs, I can kind of see that, like, going down the line, peanut butter, whoops, peanut butter. So
Oh, can I eat that?
you absolutely can. Oh, the do not eat. I thought you were interested in this. Yeah, go ahead and have a bite. As they make a gulp noise, we should have rehearsed that. Take away for this. What do you think of that?
The other thing's better.
Is this bad? It's
Yeah.
kind of weird, right?
It is.
I've always not hated wheat snack bread. I don't know if that's a ringing endorsement, but this is I always thought it was really cool when they introduced it, because when I was in the Army, it was crackers. Every MRE had crackers, or nothing. I don't know if there was some that didn't, but if it didn't have crackers, it didn't have anything as like a conveyance for your spreads. So I was out of touch with MREs for a long time, and when I went back to check them out years later, I saw there was this thing called wheat snack bread, and the name is so funny. It's wheat and it's bread, but it's snack bread, and it's not bread. You know what I mean? It's like it's its own little loaf of something, and the fact that it's specifically for snacking, it's just something that was always kind of funny about that. And the smell is a little bit funny too, that sort of chemical smell to it. But I always liked it, and I always thought it was great that they did give you an alternative to just having crackers with everything, even though the crackers are good. So why don't we get to this? And
It can't connect to the chat.
I've been disconnected from the chat. It'll come back. This freaking computer. Oh, you know what? Thanks for reminding me about the computer, because I do have this
Oh, jeez.
old ass computer, as I mentioned. There's a little meta thing as we're watching the stream a minute in the past. But Smokey has mentioned this, and this is a great thing to mention. With the holidays around the corner, here's a little advertisement, not paid advertisement, but an advertisement for Ann and Alan Gooey Butter Cakes. It's Maryland's company, and there is an annandalan.com, but if you go to it, it's actually not. I guess they're working on a new website, so it'll direct you to go to Park Avenue Coffee. So parkavenuecoffee.com, and if you go there, you can get all your gooey butter cake needs. And they make great holiday gifts. They make great snacks just for yourself, and with it being the holidays, they also have coffee at Park Avenue Coffee. Go figure. But I don't have any gooey butter cake on me at the moment, but it's something I did want to give a little shout out for Maryland. That I thought it was in French, because the and looks like an et, like a and a Ellen, like, for Canada. No, you're not. I don't think. No. So yeah, here's my old computer, and just a quick little plug for Park Avenue Coffee for Ann and Alan. That is right, Ann and Alan Gooey Butter Cakes. And now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. As we check out the vegetable lasagna. And I do have a little taste tester here for a couple of these things anyway, so that's cool. I think Mrs. G would not hate this one. I was going to say would like this one, but I mean, even if it's a menu she would like, it is still a ration, and it's not her favorite thing in the world. This is lukewarm at best. I didn't give it... The FRH is working fine, but it just... I didn't have enough time to really get it very warm. What do you? Oh, let me put this back on here. Are you getting some cookie? You can do that. You want to try it?
Yeah.
There's no reason that you need to like wait for everything. I would like to put this in boiling water, but I didn't. You can try some, but you have to let us know what you think of it.
See that? It means it's downloaded.
Cool. The little one's going to listen to some music, but not use bandwidth because she's using
I'm so
listening to downloaded songs. And this is kind of weird. There's a little bit of a delamination thing here going on.
Can I try the cookie?
Yes, you can. She's going to try the oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie.
It just breaks apart.
Bad lighting, but there is the entree. Yeah, the cheese tortellini is one I actually really do like. Other vegetarian ones, I'm not vegetarian, so I generally shy away from them if possible. But, you know, like if you're in the Army, you get what you get. And obviously if you buy a case, you're probably not going to throw something out just because it's vegetarian. Vegetable lasagna, I remember being okay. I haven't had one in quite a few years, so this is actually kind of interesting. But the cheese tortellini was always enjoyable, and the long gone now at this point veggie burger. I actually like that because it was in the barbecue sauce. And that was always a good one. And I think we got everything out here, so we'll go ahead and try it. What did you think of the tropical punch?
Tasted like regular.
Tastes like a Kool-Aid kind of thing, right? And you can see it's kind of like leaving film all around the glass here. Yeah, it's very, very artificial tasting, but what you would expect from basically what's like a kid's drink, like a Kool-Aid kind of a high C sort of a thing. And I like it. I'm not adverse to it. It is a nice chocolate chunk here. Let us try our vegetable lasagna. There's some interesting looking stuff in here. Is this? Let me look at the ingredients. Oh, it's funny. This is old enough that they actually were still using the cardboard boxes. Let's see. Water, pinto beans. That must be what I'm looking at. The color is like sort of weird. Oh, maybe it's peppers. Let me see. Pinto beans, green zucchini. Okay, that's what it is. Tomatoes. Did I say tomatoes? Tomatoes, enriched mafalda pasta with a bunch of ingredients. Chopped spinach, that's the green too. There's a lot of green stuff in here. And it contains 2% or less of modified food starch, dehydrated onions, sugar, Parmesan cheese, which was a little bit more of that. Salt, olive oil, lemon juice from concentrate with the lemon juice from concentrate actually has a lot of ingredients in it itself. Garlic powder, spices, and onion powder. Contains egg, soy, wheat, and milk. Even though milk is not really, I guess with the cheeses. All right, I'm gonna give it a try. Lukewarm at best. I think I'm seeing the spinach in there. It wasn't peppers, right? So it must be the spinach, chopped spinach. I didn't know that was in here. Yeah, it's not bad. The pasta is like this. This is supposed to be lasagna. It's this like wavy little thing. I'm not sure. Oh, it did say mafalda. I'm not really an expert on pastas. I did not know that was called mafalda pasta, but it works good for being lasagna because it's obviously not, the big long lasagna things. But those usually have the little curly cues on the ends anyway, and this has that too. It's actually quite good. I'm surprised that it doesn't have the textured vegetable protein in it. I was kind of like that because it kind of like makes it feel a little bit more like it's regular meat-based lasagna. But there's just so much going on between the beans, the chopped spinach, and the green zucchini. I don't think I've actually noticed that as far as which is the zucchini and which is the spinach. It's not bad at all. I'm actually enjoying that. And wheat snack bread. I had mentioned that this was it was pretty recent for when the MRE came out, but of course the MRE came out 7 years ago. So this is now 8 years old, so it's not really very fresh wheat snack bread. It's funny that it breaks along those little circles. I guess that's what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't usually do that for me. Very dry would be definitely better with the some kind of a spread, and dry enough that you have to wash it down with something. So we'll, with Mrs. G not being here, I'll try some of the coffee. And I'll give my standard review for coffee. It tastes good. I mean, it tastes like coffee. I'm not really good at figuring out all the undertones and the different aspects or comparing it to other coffees because I'm just not a coffee drinker. But it does what it does. Would you like to try a little bit of this little one before you practice your volleyball?
No, I just wanted to bump it once. Ha.
I'm just gonna try a little piece of wheat snack bread. I do want to try this too.
It tastes like cardboard.
Tastes like cardboard. That's a fair assessment. And I have some of this in here. I'm gonna actually eat most of this. I guess you know what? I could actually do the smoky thing and just eat it all. I didn't really have an intention of finishing everything on the plate, but since we are talking, the last thing I have in the chat is vegetarian taco pasta is my favorite veggie menu. Curious Pete said a long time ago, I'm sure. And my chat was disconnected, so that's the last thing I have in here. But yeah, that is a good one. Not really my favorite. I always thought that was so weird. I guess she wasn't able to finish her piece, which was not much bigger than this to begin with, but fair enough. Tastes like cardboard. The vegetarian taco pasta is one of the funniest named ones. I personally had never heard of that dish before. I guess it's a staple in some parts of the country. And first time I saw it in an MRE, I remember seeing the name and being like, "What the hell is that?" And it's sort of an odd concoction, but it was yeah, it was pretty good. And I think that does have the TVP in it, right? I have not had that in a while. Fordman 777 had to bring up cheese and veggie omelet. That would probably go down as my least favorite. Definitely my least favorite vegetarian dish in an MRE, and possibly my least favorite of all time. Although the creamy spinach was it fettuccine? What was I don't know, creamy spinach? The creamy spinach one that really ranks right up there. And if you actually had a fresh cheese and veggie omelet, it wasn't all that horrible. Because if you get one now, it's old enough that even if it was stored well, it's going to give you that sort of numb feeling on the sides of your tongue, and it's just pretty unpleasant. But having one of them fresh, put some salt and pepper on it. I'm sure most people would put hot sauce on it too. I just don't really do hot sauce, but a little salt and pepper, and I could handle it. I'm not endorsing it, saying it's one of my favorites. It's definitely still not one of my favorites, but it's definitely edible. Unlike the creamy spinach thing, that thing is just, to me, is just gross. Is there anybody out there that likes that one? I'm gonna refresh my screen and see what happens. Because I'm curious if anybody actually likes that creamy spinach thing. I think Mrs. G was okay with it. We did that one. I think we did that as an outdoor review together. One of the few standard reviews that she did with me, and I think she appreciated it. I mean, she likes cream sauces anyway, and the spinach thing was a plus. It was a little healthier, and she likes doing going vegetarian here and there. She's not a vegetarian, but she is much more willing to have a meatless meal than I am, which I won't even get into. If she was here, we'd be talking about this. But okay, I just refreshed it, and let's see. Yeah, I definitely missed quite a bit of stuff here. Wheat snack bread, 2 of those are false. Yeah, I can see what you're saying with that, Joe. What is this main supposed to be? Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting to refresh people who are just showing up. I haven't even mentioned in a long time that Mrs. G is not here. She's up at her parents' with our eldest daughter, who recently turned 16, and we still have the deflating balloons to prove it. They're not facing the right way, but and actually here's our Santa countdown clock, which is a family special family thing. Which if Gail's still watching, she'll appreciate that. I won't get into the big story about that until at the end. If we have some time, maybe I'll tell you about that, because it's a big personal story that's something I enjoy sharing with people. But yeah, the main for this one is the veggie lasagna, which thank you, other people have informed. Who was it that was asking? Was that Rollo? Bourbon Street, yeah. Thank you, everybody who responded to that. But it's the vegetarian lasagna, and it was randomly because it was in this 2014 Xmre, which we're looking at, and at this point, they were using generic bags. They would print the menu number on the back, but nowhere on this does it say what the main is. So if you don't have the sheet of paper that came with the case, it's just kind of like, it's like a Christmas present. You don't know what's in it until you open it up. And I was a little disappointed with that it was a vegetarian lasagna instead of being like, I don't know, spaghetti and meat sauce, or, one of the ones that I actually enjoy eating. But I was pleasantly surprised. It actually is pretty good. I'm sure I reviewed this in the past. And I remember it being okay. I've mentioned that the cheese tortellini, which I couldn't remember the word tortellini, was one that I did enjoy. And this one is probably pretty close to that as far as vegetarian meals. And it would be even better if it was a lot warmer. That was lukewarm at best, and it's already cooled down. Ford Man says he thought that MRE beef stew was better than Dinty Moore. That is one thing. I mean, I'm not somebody who hates canned foods like canned spaghetti, like SpaghettiOs kind of things, and spaghetti and meatballs, soups, and beef stew. What's the other thing I'm thinking of? Like corned beef hash, stuff like that. And, obviously somebody who really appreciates really good food, that's probably, anything like that is going to be kind of gross. But, if you had it when you're growing up, and if you're hungry, and I don't know, I mean, that stuff is just not that bad. I mean, it's not that good for you. Of course, it's going to have a lot of sodium and preservatives and all kinds of weird things, but I think it's pretty good. And I do enjoy Dinty Moore beef stew. And I do agree, MRE beef stew is really good. Mrs. Mickey Joe doesn't do reviews anymore. Yeah, I'm not aware of that, James, as far as I hope everything's okay. And that's part of the reason for doing these live streams again, too. I was getting a lot of messages, people, hey, you still alive? And I haven't seen you in a long time. Is everything okay? And it's kind of like a way to check in. A way to check in and get caught up with the chat, with the community. Share some stuff and have a little fun and be able to at least make an appearance. So I'm not, like, somebody asked me recently about Kiwi Dude, and he made his last video, and at the end was probably like, I'll see you on the next time, and there just wasn't a next time. And a couple of weeks turned into a month turned into a year. Now it's been like, what, three or 4 years? Probably about 3 years. As far as I know, he's doing fine. He's just not doing the reviews anymore. And that happens, just because you get to know somebody on YouTube through their reviews, it doesn't necessarily mean it's their life. I mean, hobby can be different levels. It can be something somebody's dabbling in, or it could be something that somebody's passionate about, like Steve, and most people are probably somewhere in between. So you kind of get used to seeing reviews from somebody, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and you kind of wonder what happened if they didn't make some announcement about it and say, like, hey, I've done this enough, I'm all done. And I haven't made that announcement yet because I don't consider myself being done, but we'll see what happens. I hope I can get back into it at some point. I think I just got off topic again. So I still have not tried the cookie yet, but I do want to try the dairy shake. You're supposed to drink that within 1 hour. I like that. I like the sweetness. It does definitely have a chemical taste to it that's sort of sort of unnatural. But I can kind of overlook that. It was with everything. I've always been really pretty easy on my reviews of MREs. I know for a long time, and for some people I think still is, the whole point of it is almost to like make fun of them and put them down and be like, this is the most disgusting thing in the world. And to be honest, if I was out in the field and they couldn't bring me real food, and the choice was between eating this or foraging for animals and eating insects and like eating tree bark and grass and just trying to survive, this is a much more appealing option to me. And I kind of look at it that way, and that's how I think of it. I'm not comparing this to one of our favorite restaurants, like a nice. We went to this really nice Italian restaurant for the elder's birthday, and if this was served there, the place would be shut down pretty quick. People wouldn't want to pay those prices for this, but for sustenance, I think it's pretty tasty. And over the 40 years that MREs have been in existence, they've constantly been working towards improving them, making them better, making them more palatable. The nutritional aspects always improving. And they added the wheat snack bread. I thought that was a nice touch. And wow, how did I get that from Kiwi Dude and other people not making reviews? I don't know, but I guess the bottom line is I do like this. Actually, I wish this did come with crackers, because that would be, it's something I never do, is the gun dog thing of crumpling up crackers and putting it in there, but that would go good with this one, especially with no spread for the wheat snack bread. For anybody who showed up recently, this is everything that was included in this MRE. And these early XMREs, they always came with a spread, but in the first generation it was always peanut butter, which got pretty boring pretty quick. You got by a case of 12, all 12 of them have peanut butter, whereas genuine US MREs and even some of the other companies like Meal Kit Supply, they would vary it. You'd have peanut butter in one, maybe you'd have chunky peanut butter in another, cheese spread, the cheese spread with jalapenos, cheese spread with bacon, and then all the jellies and jams, apple butter, So that, like I said, that was the first generation, and they quickly got over that. I remember I was actually talking to the owner of the company, and he had mentioned that was all they could get from the company that they were getting the stuff from. So that was a valid excuse. And they were able to expand, and now they have, it's like night and day, what it is now. It's definitely up to standard with, up to snuff with all the other companies. As far as varieties, I'm getting dry mouth again. So yeah, I like the the chocolateness of the dairy shake powder drink, and I have to get a second review on this one. You want to sing? She has this singing app, which if she was up to it.
I tried the tiniest part, like the tiniest bit.
Did you get to taste it? You see how it's got the little foam on top? It's kind of a neat little thing. How was it? You want to try a little more? It's kind of like a kid's drink. It's supposed to be like a milkshake.
It's fine.
Fine. All right. So this was fine, which I think is a better review than the wheat snack bread tasting like cardboard. And I like it. I've always liked the cocoa beverage powder. So this is kind of like, it's another alternative instead of always having the cocoa beverage powder. Sometimes you get the French vanilla cappuccino. Sometimes you get one of these dairy shakes. And of course there's also vanilla and strawberry too. And what was there? It was a banana one too, right? A banana strawberry. I don't know if I ever had. Yeah, I did have that at one point. And to me, they're all good. So there's not too many things in MRE I don't like. This freaking computer. When I refreshed it, Fordman had mentioned that MRE beef stew is better than Dinty Moore, and that's the last thing I have. I do have a count, which probably isn't up to date. It says 36 watching now. All right, so now I'm just getting into talking about the computer. try and renew this one more time, see if we can get connected to the chat. And I think we'll wrap things up and let everybody get to their Friday night. Oh, I didn't even mention, so for the, probably for the holiday special, for people to just come in, one of the things we did early on while we were waiting for people to show up was talk about some upcoming stuff. And I am hoping to do another live stream at some point this month before Christmas. That'll be the gschultz9 holiday special. We'll be doing a couple unboxings, opening up some stuff. And I do have a ration that I do want to review for a live stream. It's actually an ORP. There's some more insider information. Most likely the thumbnail, if I can find one, the thumbnail will actually show a boxed MRE, but this is one that MRE Mountain, I want to make sure I have the right company, MRE Mountain sent to me probably 2 years ago at this point. And it's actually in a Ziploc bag, like, not a military ration bag, it's just in a Ziploc bag, but it's all the components that were in an ORP. I don't know if the box got wet or what. And I never felt like doing it as a review because of the fact that it didn't have the box. It just seemed kind of weird. But I thought it would be great for the family to try some British food. I think it's the meat sticks, which is one of the funniest named meals, I think. But we have meatballs and they have meat sticks. I guess que sera, one's one, one's the other. But I do remember having. I think I actually reviewed that before in a regular review, and I do remember enjoying them. But I did want Mrs. G to get a chance to try some of that British stuff and see if we could get the girls to, at least sample something. But most likely in the holiday special, we're going to review that one. So I don't want to go on too long, and it's possible that between the unboxings and sampling some stuff like the Lay's. Why do I keep forgetting what this is? Chestnut flavored chips. I keep thinking they're hazelnut. It may end up running long, and we may put it off for another one. But yeah, hopefully that'll be coming up soon. My computer is just not. It's stuck on the ad for this thing, which I'm not even supposed to be looking at these. Oh, another thing to mention too. Mrs. gschultz9, I think it was for the last stream or the one before that. She actually created a channel so she could moderate on that instead of on her own personal one. Trying to keep things anonymous. And I think a lot of people thought that meant she was starting a channel because she started a channel, but she actually didn't necessarily intend to be doing reviews or anything like that. But a couple months later, like about a month ago, I asked her what she was planning on doing with the channel, and she had forgotten that she even started the channel. So it was Mrs. gschultz9. And she's like, what should I put on it? And I was like, well, you can do reviews. Obviously I have rations. You can do reviews. You can, get it for a different perspective. You can take some components and make different things, or you can do something completely different, whatever you want to do. And I am not getting the chat now, but if anybody wants to give any suggestions for things that Mrs. G could do on her channel, we would certainly be interested in hearing what people think. And I don't know, I'm not making any promises. I don't know that the channel will ever have any videos on it, but it is something that she's thinking about anyway. So if she can find the time, just I can't find the time nowadays to make videos. I don't know how she's going to, because she's even more busy than I am. But yeah, that's something that we're thinking about. Oh, we still have to try these. I'm gonna try the cookie, and I shouldn't save these for last because it's like saving the worst for last. But let me try the cookie. Yeah, that's tasty. I guess it's the fact that it's an oatmeal-based cookie. It has sort of a strange blandness to it. It's not bad. It's just that it's weird. It has a sweetness and a blandness at the same time. The chocolate chunks, though, definitely help that. As I already showed you this nice one here. And I think something else that will help. We'll be giving it a nice dunk in the dairy shake. Yep, that's nice. And considering that that is also, what, about 8 years old, it's held up nicely. For anyone who's shown up recently, I think my chat's working. Looks like Aletha is either leaving or has already left. So I'll say goodnight, Aletha. Hopefully you'll see that or hear that before you leave. If it's MRE related, I like some of your civilian MRE foods, MRE food-like suggestions. Well, thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Anytime I do any kind of a different video, it's always like sort of an attempt to keep things interesting and mix things up a little bit, but they never get the views, and a lot of people dislike them. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean I'm not doing the regular ones. It's just, you know, just doing something a little bit different. Oh, here we go. Get suggestions here. Maybe she could take some ration components and combine them with stuff from the kitchen to create recipes. Yeah, that is a good idea, Kaylin. I was kind of thinking along the same lines. I was actually planning on, when I was still active, I was planning on doing this series. It's funny, I've never mentioned it before, but since I don't know if it's ever going to happen, it was going to be called MRE Mess Hall, I think, or something like that. And I was going to make different dishes using MREs, which other people have done, but it was going to be specifically, it was only MRE components. You couldn't add anything to it. You couldn't add butter to it. You couldn't add any kind of a food-related thing that wasn't in the MRE itself. And I had a couple ideas. There's probably going to be like two. I was going to make like 2 dishes, and I just never got around to it. Couldn't find a couple of components. I'm sorry, it didn't have to be just in one MRE, but it had to be in an MRE, like menus 1 to 24, in other words. Edward just came back from eating dinner, and I'm eating dinner myself. All right, so I have a feeling this is not going to be good. It does have the tear notch, which is nice. I was saying that the early Xmre branded stuff didn't have tear notches, which was pretty frustrating. And it was a really cool touch when they started adding these. Let's see. It doesn't say packaged by or packaged for Xmre by. It just says Xmre on the back. Tiger Tail Boulevard, Daytona, Dania Beach, Florida. Corn vegetable oil contains one or more of the following: canola or safflower oil and salt. So the corn and the salt I think are fine, but the oil is the problem. So what I discovered with these, excuse me, sorry, is that when I first saw them, it was a cool thing because they had their own branded stuff, but the retort pouch does not seem to hold up as well as the genuine MRE retort pouches. They seem to be made of more or less the same materials, but they, for whatever reason, the corn nuts didn't last very long, and the little mini chocolate chip cookies got stale within a year, I would say, which is somewhat unacceptable. This is actually kind of having some lamination problems, and you can kind of see the different layers. So it's definitely retort pouch-like. You know, it has plastic and metal. Maybe it's not as many layers, and they look fine in there. But let's see. Ooh, yeah, that's. It actually doesn't smell rancid. It just doesn't smell like corn nuts. Let me try one. I don't want to ruin this. This has actually been a pretty good meal. I'd like to see a video on how to make Ranger pudding. I think Gundog maybe has done that, Ford Man, and I don't know if Smokey did. I think Smokey might have too. The only thing I ever did was I made some icing for it was either for a pound cake or for a cookie or something. It was like a vanilla icing, kind of like a Ranger pudding sort of thing. But yeah, that is a good idea, and there's different ways of doing Ranger pudding too. It's something I never actually did when I was in. I always just ate the stuff as it was, which is why I kind of review them the same way. But there's definitely some interesting ideas out there. I'm gonna try this one piece, and who knows, maybe it's fine. It's crunchy. It doesn't taste right. It's not rancid, which is nice. I have a feeling you actually can eat them. Let me try a couple more and just make sure I don't get the coating or the numbness of the tongue. And definitely not some burning or anything. Kaylin said she had done some ration mashups, where she combined components from a variety of rations to create new meals. I think I may have seen a few of those. Yeah, actually, this might not be that bad. I just got a really salty bit, which is tasting kind of good. It's definitely not what it tasted like when it was fresh, but it doesn't seem to be as bad as I expected. And this did not have a date code on it, but the MRE itself is from 2015, so it's at least 6 years old. So I'm actually really impressed. This whole video I was talking about how these Xmre branded components, you can't really trust them unless they're really fresh, but this one's kind of proving me wrong. Like I said, it doesn't taste great, but it's I guess the saltiness is kind of covering up the fact that there's something slightly off about it. But the oil hasn't gone rancid or anything, which is what I was afraid of. And I would definitely would not be eating them if it had. It's pretty obvious just from the smell and the taste. You don't really even need the aftertaste to tell you that. But yeah, these are actually seem to be edible. It's actually planning on that being a fun part of this, being like, ooh, this is disgusting, but it's not that bad. Readiness, sorry, Readiness Ration said, I know I filmed making a killer ranger pudding in one video, but I can't remember if that one got uploaded yet or not. If not, well, keep an eye out for that, Readiness. It sounds good. Spicy tuna rolls, welcome. I'm assuming you just joined in. Thomas Howe, hello. Once again, I'm sorry if people have been here for like 20-30 minutes, but I've just been checking in on the chat sporadically. Okay, so this isn't as good as I thought. It's weird. I could eat it. I wasn't having any problem, but when I washed it down with the punch, for some reason that reacted with it. It made it taste gross. That's strange. I've never had that happen before. But I think just to be safe, I'm not going to eat any more. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did that because I was actually going to eat a good chunk of that because it tasted pretty good. As I said, not as it tasted when it first came out, not what you would expect if you go to a store and buy a bag of corn nuts, but it wasn't bad though. Wyoming Adventure says, congratulations on winning Joe's contest. Who won Joe's contest? Oh, and Joshua seems to remember some of these oddball things. Oh man, more foreign stuff like that Army brand. That was that was fun to do, and the thing that was funny about that was I actually had that sitting around a couple of years before I got around to doing it, and that got some backlash because it wasn't it wasn't genuine MRE stuff, and it wasn't even commercial MRE stuff, but it was just a funny thing. I don't know how many people remember, but it was these kind of like spam products, but they're in these round cans, and they had these paper labels on them that were camouflage, and it was called Army brand, and it was fun stuff. A little weird. I think it was made. I want to say it was made in Poland. I can't remember what the company was, but the company actually sent me some. I saw a truck. We were going out to Buffalo one day, probably like 6, 7 years ago, and I actually saw a truck for Army brand, and I wished I got a picture of it, but I didn't. I had to Google it, and I found one, and it was the same style truck. It was all camouflaged, and it said Army brand on it. And then I found some in a store, and oh boy, Dad hit a deer on the way home from work last night. Jeffrey went to hunt tomorrow. Help him clean up his truck. Yikes, that's scary. I was in a car that hit a deer once. That was really scary. Luckily we were okay, but whew, that's a story to talk about. Canned bacon can still be found online. Oh, you know what? I have a can of bacon that I've never used. It was gonna be, I kept saving it for a special video, never get around to it. I was always afraid to open it though, because it's like once you open it, you kind of have to use the stuff, right? But I forgot what I was talking about. I guess it's probably time to wrap things up. 8:30. Yeah, this is good. I was thinking about an hour and a half. I think we've done what we need to do. Sorry if I didn't answer anybody's questions. If anybody had any, I was just kind of trying to run this without having a real moderator here. Marilyn was kind enough to be here to moderate the overall thing, but of course you can't tell me who's asking a question or who's here. And the mini moderator helped a little bit. That was nice. I said you helped out the moderating.
Sure, I guess. I only pointed at 2 people.
Well, that was a help though, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen anybody. So the last thing I want to say, as I was thinking about this, I might share this on the holiday special too. Recently, it was just a little under a month ago, we had a memorial service for my mother. She actually died back in May of 2020, and because of all the stuff with the shutdown and all the pandemic and everything, we actually weren't able to have a funeral or any kind of service or anything like that, or really get together in person. We had a Zoom meeting. My family had a Zoom meeting to to get together. So that was rough, but we finally were able to put together a memorial service last month, and most of the family got to go there, and it was really nice. And my sister and my brother-in-law, they actually brought something for me. It was my oldest sister, and she actually was kind of the one. What would you say? I'm trying to think of the word for it. I'm blanking again about when somebody is like the person in charge of the person as they're getting older. Anyway, she was doing all Mom's paperwork and stuff, and was in charge of everything. And so she got all of her stuff. And as we were getting ready for the party to start, I'd say party, the memorial to start, she said that she had something for me, and it was actually this. It's actually my father's dog tag. He was in the Navy at the end of World War II. This says say 45 on it. I don't know if that has anything to do with the year. There's a few things on here I'm not sure, but I'm not gonna put it on here to really like show what's on here because it's a little bit private. But it was very touching. And of course, people generally had 2 dog tags, and I have 7 sisters and 1 brother, and so they gave me one of the dog tags, and they gave my brother the other one. My brother was in the Marines, and I was in the Army, so that was a very special moment. And actually, it's kind of a nice way to end the video too. I want to say thank you to everybody for showing up. Right now we're at 32, so I really didn't know what to expect from this one. It wasn't last minute. I mean, I gave pretty good warning, but I knew it was going to be commercial MREs, nothing really exciting. I knew Mrs. G wasn't going to be here, which I apologize for not telling people ahead of time, but I figured maybe nobody would show up if they knew it was just me. But she should be here for the next one, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting around to doing the holiday special. Now that I put it out there, it kind of puts the pressure on to do it. So at least it won't be another 3 months before we get another stream. I still have no idea when the regular videos will be starting again, but anyway, thank you everybody for joining me and the little one, and I guess we will see you soon. It seems weird saying goodbye, and it's still on the early side, but have a good Friday night. Little one, you want to say goodnight?
Good night.
All right, thank you everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, of course, now I gotta find the, I always had this problem with, good night everybody.